Hello, friends, and welcome back to the 2016 edition of Missoula Live.
We forgot the name of the show because we've been on break for so long.
Well, also because I've had this terrible cold, and you wanted people to know you've got the terrible
I said
cold.
we should whine about our cold so that for the next 2 weeks people would feel bad for us and be nice to us when they see us on the street, but also because there's a very good chance I'll have some sort of paroxysm of
coughing
something
fit.
Unpleasant while we're chatting.
Yeah,
so.
and I've had mine for a week. Let's talk about this.
Me
okay,
too.
so about the same time.
What were we doing together a week ago? I don't know.
I don't know. We're thinking about doing this show.
That must have been it. But it's 2016. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for staying with this show. We have a short roster of guests today. Everyone else is sick.
It's January.
Right.
Yeah.
It's January.
Yes.
And we have things to say, so we thought we'd do our guests first, let you know what's going on, and then afterwards I have some MCAT things I want to talk about, like the upcoming tour and training on January the 13th. Kim has got a fair amount, as I understand it.
We have an exciting new program, and a lot of it is going to be happening in Missoula, so I'm just going to make you wait to find
For the Humanities Montana bombshell.
Yes.
So we're going to get right on to our guest is Audrey Ramos. She is the Educational Outreach Coordinator for Blue Mountain Clinic. Thank you for coming by.
Hello.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know it. So there's a specific event, but maybe it is worthy enterprise at the beginning for you to talk a little in general about Blue Mountain Clinic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So Blue Mountain Clinic is a full family practice. We have specialized in reproductive health care, and we also do community education and outreach, which is my job. But yeah, we offer full services. We see men and women, children, all kinds of folks for different issues. And the reason that we started doing community education is because there's just so much public health needs that people come to us for. So it just sort of became a natural progression of our services. So I'm here to tell you about Put This on the Map. It's a 30-minute documentary. It was filmed in Seattle about 5 years ago, and it just features LGBTQ teenagers, gender non-conforming teenagers, and it's really just their voices talking about different struggles they've faced in school, family life, and how they have worked to overcome those goals.
And the showing of this film is going to be part of a larger event that Blue Mountain is putting on.
Yeah, that's our hope. And this is sort of the first thing that, or the first part of a series, hopefully. So we're trying something out. We're going to show the film at the clinic, and then we'll have a community discussion to follow. And really, we're just trying to get a feel about what families, parents, and educators are wanting, how we want to improve sex education.
And Scott is showing a clip of Put This on the Map. No, he says talk over
with
it.
No sound.
Oh, okay.
But you can see.
Well, Audrey, you've seen it before, so you know that. So the content.
Yeah. So the really fantastic thing about the documentary is there aren't any adults asking questions. It's lots of group discussion amongst teenagers. I think it'll be really great for young people, for preteens, teenagers to watch. It's just very honest, and I think it's really empowering for kids, too, just to hear from peers about their different experiences. And that's a really important part of sex education. The whole point of sex education is to help young people make decisions about their bodies, respect other people's bodies, so that when they grow up to be adults, they know how to treat themselves and other people.
And I can imagine that, talking about sexuality and our bodies is difficult at any age, but I think it's especially difficult when you're younger.
Well, we're more than happy to talk about our ailments.
That's true. As you get older, you talk about your ailments with
you talk about
absolute
the
abandon.
body quite a bit. And tell people more than they want to know.
But I can imagine that for younger people watching, knowing that you're going to go and watch a movie first makes it a little more comfortable, a little safer, and then that can kind of maybe inspire a little bravery or outgoingness afterwards in the discussion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, a big part about talking about sexuality in a healthy way is practicing. And that goes for kids, teenagers, for adults. I think it'll be an exciting discussion. I know that we have some folks bringing their kids in. We also, because we are Blue Mountain Clinic, we have healthcare providers that will be there also.
Oh, wow.
And so that's kind of a cool aspect to the conversation. We actually have some professional doctors on board.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great event. And when and where and
so
address and all of that?
It'll be at Blue Mountain Clinic. We're located off of West Broadway, 610 North California, really close to the California Street Bridge. And it's going to be Thursday, January 21st at 6:30. We close at 6:30 we'll start the documentary. Again, it's a 30-minute documentary, so it's not terribly long, and then afterwards hopefully we'll get some good discussion going.
If people are watching and they say, oh, I forgot everything you said about the time and direction, and they'll hold on to something like a phone number, or should they go to the website?
Yeah, bluemountainclinic.org is really great. We're on Facebook. The event is on Facebook. It's open to everyone. And I'm always a great person to email for questions. It's just audrey@bluemountainclinic.org. That way.
And you're ADRI.
I am, yes. Good memory.
Yeah.
Other vital information.
And it's free.
It's free, yeah.
It's free, and you're hoping for anybody, right? Not just teens or young
not
adults.
Just teens. Our main demographic, other than teens, we want to see parents there who maybe need help opening up this discussion with their kids, and then community educators who have input on what we can do to help improve sex education.
So teachers in the district or what have you, they're certainly welcome to come. If they say, I don't know enough about this issue to deal with things like bullying in my classroom or stuff like that. I feel really underrated on this. They're more than welcome to come and join the discussion too.
Because all of us in a community, might be called upon. I mean, we all know young people, I think.
Yeah.
and it's good to feel comfortable in the discussion, no matter who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice because whoever comes to this will be able to be an advocate in some way for teens who need a little extra support, whether they're dealing with coming out, whether they're just wanting to learn more about sexuality, if they have questions. It's just nice to have safe peers and adults to talk to.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like this is a fairly new position for you, and that you have big ideas, which is great. It's been really fantastic. Another thing that I do in my role, just for community educators, is I go into classrooms and teach lessons on various aspects of sexual health, reproductive health. So if people are interested in finding out more about that, whether it's for youth groups, private schools, homeschooled kids, those are also people that I'm a good point person for that. Yeah.
Oh, so you will go to classrooms and give presentations.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, I actually had the opportunity to go to the university this fall for the diversity conference.
Right.
And so that was cool. I got to work with, college students, but I'm actually going to the Missoula International School in a couple of weeks and
Good
hang out with some
example.
sixth
See.
graders.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so all different kinds of people.
Yeah.
I'm happy to educate where I can. And I'm always having to educate myself, too.
Well, I think in this day and age, it seems like younger people are just savvier and everything is out there and
Right, like problem solved.
They've heard it all
It's
by the
not-
time they're 12 and all of that. And I don't think it's true. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there.
There
and
is, yeah. I think there's just so much access to media. Kids have smartphones. So I think it's good to start these conversations early.
Yeah, because some of that information in the wrong context can be frightening. And so educating young people is the best way to get a more grounded, healthier
I completely
approach.
agree.
Super.
All right. Oh, we can't let you go without mentioning Off the Rack, which
Off
is
the Rack.
a big event for
Yeah.
Blue Mountain Clinic.
Yeah, yeah.
Happens every year.
Have you guys been before?
It's coming up in February.
Yep. It's February 13th. It's going to be at the Wilma, which is going to be really fun. It's all
fun.
remodeled. It's looking gorgeous. The theme is Let's Talk About Sex, which is really appropriate since
Yeah.
we're sort of talking about sex education right now. It's $25 for general admission, and it's $75 for VIP. And VIP is really fun. You basically get like free drinks and snacks, food, prizes, fame and fortune.
Right. The better seating.
Right.
But for people who don't know about it, it's a condom fashion show.
Yeah.
It's really fun. It's our biggest fundraiser, and we just, we celebrate sexuality, diversity, and reproductive health.
Well, I'm sure we'll have you or someone else from Blue
Yeah,
Mountain
that's what
here
we thought
to
in
talk.
2 weeks. And
Yeah.
we could show clips each year.
Oh, because it's so
Well,
wonderful.
Each year with some exceptions, MCAT has
Yeah.
recorded the event. I think we missed 1 or 2 in there
Yeah.
in the last 10. So we have
Yeah.
quite an archive,
that would
of
be
the
fun.
designs people have come
Yeah.
up with and so on. So that'll happen in 2 weeks' time. It could be someone else more in charge of it than
Okay.
Andre.
More.
But before then, Thursday the 21st, January 21st.
6:30 at Blue Mountain Clinic. We're going to be watching Put This on the Map and then talking about it.
Super.
Excellent. Audrey, thanks so much for coming by.
Yeah,
Good luck with the event.
thank you.
And we'll be right back. Scott says he's got some really great PSAs. Maybe he's going to show you the new one he made for our Saturday animation drop-in.
Oh, good.
But we'll be right back. We have folks from the American Legion Hall Post 27. We'll be seating them and doing all kinds of stuff while you watch this.
Sergeant Greg Amos with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about something I see downtown routinely, and that is pedestrians crossing against the pedestrian heads. So I'd just like to explain what is actually legal. You cannot begin crossing in the crosswalk when it's either flashing and in the countdown or solid red. The only time it's legal to begin crossing in that crosswalk is when the white crossing sign is displayed. What the countdown is for, and the only thing that's there for, is to tell you how much time you have to finish crossing the street, presuming that you started when it was legal to do so.
I'm Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
For the last 30 years, the Montana Hope Project has been granting wishes to Montana children who face life-threatening illnesses.
I'm Montana Hope.
To make a donation and help their wishes come true, please visit montanahope.org.
Sergeant Greg Amison with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about bicycles riding on the sidewalks in the city of Missoula, which we see a lot because Missoula is a very bike-friendly town. I would just like to let bicyclists know that they do have to yield to pedestrians on the sidewalk safely because they travel faster than a pedestrian, so they do have to do that in a safe manner. And then when you get to a crosswalk, you are actually required to slow your bicycle down to what would be called a pedestrian pace, and you cannot begin crossing until it's safe to do so.
Buckle up, Montana. Life is a ride you want to stay on. Send a buckle up reminder to a friend at plantolive.mt.gov.
Here's your bear spray, babe.
I don't need it. I can outrun them. Look, I ran track in high school.
No, you can't. You're not supposed to run from bears. And you did the shot put.
Okay, I'll spray down.
What? No, don't spray it!
Ah! My face is burning! My face is burning now!
When hunting in bear country, understand it puts you at risk. Be smart, be safe, be bear aware.
Back with members of the American Legion Hall Post 27. Yeah. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming over to talk about American Legion Hall. With us is Elmer Palmer, there's John, and our own Mike Fellows. And welcome to the show. Thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, you're most welcome. So what do you want to tell people about American Legion Hall Post 27 here in Missoula?
Why don't we talk a little just about the Legion and what it does?
Okay.
The American Legion is, of course, the world's largest veterans organization. We were founded in 1919, and as you can see from my shirt, we're very shortly coming up on our 100th anniversary.
Wow, yeah.
So we're starting to celebrate that, and my job in the Legion is membership. And so I work with the posts. I work with John and posts all over the state to try and get our membership up. And we had a national commander stand up and say, you know, the Legion is going downhill. The young people are not going to join. We're going to have to close the doors sometime soon. Membership just keeps going down. And that was in 1927.
Oh, okay.
So, you know.
Got me fooled.
Yeah.
So we are, I just came from a session in Indianapolis, where our headquarters is. And there we talked about what we can do to try and bring our membership up. We've fallen pretty severely for the last 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. We've dropped from right around 2.4 million down to we're just barely 2.2 right now. But we've had a couple of years in there that we did exceed the year before, and we're working right now pretty hard to try and make sure that we succeed in getting at least to that mark again this year.
Wow.
So I work very closely with the posts and help them with their programs to go out and get members. And of course, membership doesn't happen by itself. We have got to provide some kind of a program that they want, and that's one of the things that Post 27 does.
Elmer, who is eligible to be a member?
Who is eligible? Any veteran that has spent 1 day in the service, any branch of the service, 1 day during any Congress-defined war period. Like for instance, right now we're running on a period from 1991 unending. So we've got anybody that's basically in the military right now is eligible for the American Legion.
Okay. And if they want to join, and let's say they're watching this program and the guy's like, you know, I really should join. You're going to pick up the phone. What's he going to do to get in touch with you?
They can contact the American Legion Post 27 there, which is on 825 Ronan Street there off of South Russell, where the railroad tracks kind of cross Russell.
Yeah.
And we're not open full-time because it's a completely volunteer organization, but we maintain office hours on Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons from 1 to 5 p.m. The telephone number there is 543-7391. And we do some events. We have a monthly breakfast there at the hall at 825 on Ann Street on the first and third Monday of the month from 7 to 9 a.m. There. And then the monthly membership meetings on the third Thursday night of the month at 7 p.m. at the hall. But we help support some other activities like Boys State there.
Excuse me, Commander. American Legion Boys State?
Okay.
American Boys State, American Legion baseball, like the Missoula Mavericks, come under us there. The Legion provides some of that support for youth activities throughout the year. We also have support the Boy Scouts. We have a Boy Scout troop that meets at the hall on Monday nights there at 7 o'clock. We also have some other groups that meet there. We have the Coast Guard Auxiliary. They used to sponsor a Sea Scout organization, or ship there, I guess the proper term, along that line there. We do rent the hall out, helps to bring in some revenue to pay the bills. They've had that hall, from what I understand, going back to the mid-50s at that location there. And but we have to, pay the light and the heat and stuff there.
Yeah.
So it is available for rent if people are interested. We have parties there, private organizations. In fact, this past Saturday, an individual lady had rented a hall for a 60th birthday party there for her father back in November, and then she had a birthday party for some 12-year-olds there. So, but we do some, things like that that's available. I've also had some memorial services after the service
of course.
Or at the cemetery. They've come in and had a little reception there, and we make it a reasonable, do it at a reasonable amount.
I think that's an occasion or two when I've been there.
A number of them are veterans that have passed away, and the families come in there. We have a color guard that provides the colors at the cemetery, the state cemetery or the Missoula City Cemetery there as part of the service, interment service along that line there. We provide limited support financially for veterans and their families might have problems. National Legion, they can get what's called a temporary financial assistance there if they have a child and they're having some problems with paying the bills and stuff. It's like anything, it's a little bit of some paperwork drill. Bureaucracy. It has to go up through the state in Helena and then to Indianapolis and National, and we're able to get grants sometimes for those individuals there. But we try to provide some support when veterans are in need there.
Let's go a little bit further on the aid. We have 5 major charities that we run ourselves, and those charities are every nickel that's donated to the charity goes to the purpose for which it was intended, because the charities are run by our paid staff or volunteer staff that people just like John and I that go back there and do the work to run those charities. And last year, the national commander, through his drives through the posts and through the districts and the states, raised just about $7 million for those 5 charities.
Wow, that's impressive.
And one of them, for instance, one is the people that sponsors the TFA, temporary financial assistance that John spoke of. Another one is the child welfare, and that money goes out to other organizations. Somebody comes in with an idea that they need funds for their organization, and they make the application. And I had a list, didn't happen to bring it with me, but of the charities that were out there for this last year that we supported out of hours. And one of them, it's on there every year, is the Special Olympics. And,
sure.
And there are Boy Scouts that have applied to do something special, and it just whoever happens to come around needing the cash.
And some of that charity goes in like when they have disasters, and some of that's right now with the tornadoes in Mississippi and stuff. They'll be able to provide something there that a person doesn't necessarily have to be a member of the Legion. They're a veteran.
Right.
Along that line. The Post also helps with the flag retirement ceremony on Flag Day, the 14th of June. People that have unserviceable flags can drop them off at the hall there at 825 Ronan Street or at Missoula Textiles. They'll accept it. In fact, Missoula Textiles, if they have a flag that's still serviceable but it's kind of, needs to be kind of cleaned up, they'll do that for free at
Oh,
Missoula
wow.
Textiles.
So these fellas must know Susan Campbell Renault.
Yes.
She's often a guest on our show, and she does a lot of work with veterans, you know, on the Memorial
Right. You're not
Day
as colorful
and on
as Susan, but
well, we don't have all right. Mike's got his red on.
yeah,
You know.
Mike's giving us some color.
There.
I could imagine that you see a lot of generations within families involved with the Legion.
Yes, there are. We have a program that we have an auxiliary, which is Susan's bag, and then we have a program called the Sons of the American Legion, and any young person, and I mean by young person, they're not putting the foot in the grave yet, because some of them are up that point, but it's eligible for anybody whose father, grandfather, great-grandfather served in the military during time of war. We are a wartime organization, but if their father, grandfather, or great-grandfather was eligible for the American Legion, they are eligible. Now, there's sometimes if the grandfather or father is living, they have to be that member to join. And if they're not, then we can go ahead and accept them with the fact that their father was eligible for that, or grandfather.
We have 340 members in the post, and we do have members that go back to World War II.
Really?
In fact, 2 of the Doolittle Raiders are members of
Oh, are they? Yeah, one fellow I interviewed of the Doolittle Raiders, because there's only about 4 alive now.
Yeah, the 2 or maybe 3 now.
No,
I think,
down to
and
3.
stuff there. But there's 2 of them that were members of the
That's
post
neat.
there, and we have one member who's going to have 60 continuous years of membership in the post. He's a Korean War veteran. It's Charles Ray Doty. There, he's a retired city police officer, captain there. But he'll this year, 2016, is his 60th year after he served in the Navy during the Korean War.
Yeah.
And stuff. So we do, have a variety of people. We'd like to get more of the younger ones that are from the past. Since the war on terrorism, the Gulf War, and Iraq and Afghanistan. And we're getting some of those. It takes a little longer, to kind of get them back into that as they come along. And then the Vietnam veterans, we have a number of them there. But it's some people sometimes a little leery of joining because they're afraid they're going to get put to work.
Well, it's a wonderful hall. I donated something to the hall, and Mike suggested, so we delivered it. Scott and I delivered it down there, and I said I hadn't been in there since 1983, when the students at University of Montana had an art auction, and they had rented it. It looks amazing now, Kim. It's beautiful. Beautiful hardwood floor. They've got a dance floor down there. There is a commercial kitchen. So you could...
So you could have a great party there.
Yeah, we have
for the rental part.
wedding receptions are there.
Nice to know.
And Missoula brides and grooms thing there.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And all, so it's it's available, and we get calls there. It's just not a full-time operation. People are not paid to run it. So we don't.
So you have the Tuesday, Thursday afternoons.
Right, the afternoon.
Somebody's there to answer the phone.
And then we have the answering machine on there, and then we stop in other times. People will get, because we get questions on veteran benefits and what they can get in the way of help there. We generally work that through the Montana service officers out there at the state cemetery. They're on Tower Street. They're the ones that are state employees paid to do that and have a lot more experience. Although the Legion will do some things, people kind of confuse that a little bit with us here. Some places in the country say they don't have a state employee. A Veterans Division department, and so the Legion picks up on that. Because we advocate for some of the benefits for the military there with Congress, at the national level, as well as the state level here in Montana.
Oh, that's an important
role. There in the legislature.
Well, just for example, the original GI Bill, soldiers and the servicemen's oh boy, I got the title, but it's was called the GI Bill.
Right.
That of the original article was written by that period's commander of the American Legion. All of these gentlemen got together and started trying to figure out what they knew they needed to do something for the veteran. And this gentleman took some stationery from a hotel in Washington, D.C. and walked over and sat down. The rest of them were over there arguing. He wrote it out and he took it over and he says, now this is what we should be doing. And if you happen to get into Indianapolis and want to stop at the headquarters, you can go see a color Xerox copy of that original paper. The original is well preserved, but the copy is there, and you can see it in handwriting, the original GI Bill.
In fact, the
That's
Legion
amazing.
originated back after World War I there in Paris. And we were talking about the 100th anniversary coming up, the founding of the Legion. And I think it was Teddy Roosevelt Jr.
Teddy Roosevelt Jr. I had the opportunity to sit in the National Executive Committee chairman or chamber up there, and his grandson presented us the picture of Teddy Roosevelt Jr. in uniform, standing up to put into our hall in honor of the 100th anniversary coming up.
Wow.
And the grandson is the honorary chairman of the celebration from 1918 through 1919 and on. So.
It's
Well,
a wonderful undertaking, isn't
Yeah,
it?
as a history person, I think, veterans of recent conflicts, I hope some of them hear this, because I think that reconnecting with people and with the history going back that far.
Could have a lot of healing properties. We hear
it's
so
important.
much as civilians. What do we hear? Post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what we hear. Veterans, and then the next thing that comes to people's minds, that and fighting for veterans' rights too, right?
Yeah.
Because we've had people like the fellow upstairs at the Veterans Office be on the show and tell us that some unbelievably high percentage of people that were combat veterans are part of the homeless population. The combat veterans are like 1% of the U.S. population and constitute 25% of the people on the street because no one's looking after their needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we worked with Brian Becker's up, one of the guys up there, and Anton Johnson that do some of the counseling for those individuals. And we had let the hall be used for a mini stand down there back in October the 29th, a little chili feed and mini stand down with some of the different social service providers here in Missoula there, and then they issue out some of the surplus equipment that's not used at the VA purchases at discount from the Department of Defense and stuff. So we had that little mini stand down there with them.
We're trying in the Legion to come more into the 21st century for these younger veterans too. In fact, I had a presentation from a post in Indianapolis, and they showed us a picture of their post hall. It was a numbered mailbox in a post office, and he says, we're going to give that up very shortly because we never use it anymore. They're on to all of the electronic communication.
Right, yeah.
And so we're really starting to try and push so that the younger people don't want us to send them a letter, they want us to send them an email, or more importantly, a text or
Facebook.
Yep.
Well, and Scott's showing the Facebook page to the people at home.
Oh yeah, you got this Mike handle that.
Oh,
Mike, is that you're doing? That's excellent.
Yeah, there's also a website that I saw. He could put that up too for people. But I guess Facebook, do they just put in American Legion Post 27 and they'll get to that?
Yep.
Okay.
American Post 27 on Facebook, and that'll get you all the updated information and stuff of that nature.
Great.
And if they're out of the Missoula area, mtlegion.org is the all the information that they would need there. And If they want to join and be from out of town and don't want to chase us down here, they can go to legion.org and they can.
Which is the national site.
Yes, which is the national website, and they can learn about it. They could go through there, see all of our books and everything that we use, and they may use their credit card to sign up to the American Legion right there on the spot.
That's terrific. So
Yeah.
legion.org, that's easy to remember,
Right.
and that's a good first step, no matter where you are.
I guess we should go pretty soon, right? Scott, did anyone show up when you... Oh, so we did get the guest from NCBI. So we have one more guest to get through. If there's something you would want to say to these younger guys that, vis-a-vis a membership in the American Legion, what would it be?
Well, Mike, I'm an example. The very first time I was asked to join the American Legion, I joined. I had been 26 years, 9 months active duty, 12 years working here in Missoula before anybody ever walked up to me and said, would you like to join the American Legion?
Oh.
I didn't have enough sense to find somebody. I didn't know enough about the American Legion.
Right.
Take a look at our literature, take a look at our websites, find a post, go in there. It's the cost of a couple of good a couple of drinks or a couple of fast lattes, the big ones.
Yeah,
right. The dues is most posts now is in the $30 to $40 range. So, and I'm having a ball in this outfit.
Yeah, it's a great facility, the one in town. I can attest to that.
They get the Legion puts out a monthly magazine as part of the dues there, and then there's you get some of the certain discounts.
Right. And you can be as connected as you want to be to people who went through something similar to what you went through.
And then, of course, you talked about Post 27 also sponsoring the Missoula AA Mavericks, and so we should get people out there to support our baseball team.
That's right. Let's start thinking about baseball season.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much.
It's important for our young kids.
Yeah.
For coming on the show. And
Thanks
you know where we live now, so don't be a
Come chat
stranger.
with us,
There's
let us know
something
what's
coming
going on.
up that you want to address.
you.
We'd be happy to have you back. The show's every other week.
Very
Okay.
much.
And good luck, getting these younger guys involved.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back. Apparently, we do have our third guest that's going to talk about Martin Luther King Jr. Day coming up in Missoula right after this.
I have the power.
I have the power.
I have the power.
I'm Attorney General Tim Fox. You have the power to report suspected child abuse. All it takes is one phone call to 1-866-820-KIDS. If you even suspect child abuse, call.
You have the power to protect Montana's kids.
This message is brought to you by the Montana Attorney General's Office, the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services, and Northwestern Energy.
Do you know where I can find some intelligent life?
You can look in the mirror, but you won't find it there.
If you keep tanning, indoors or out, the effects of harmful rays will show up on your skin. Wrinkles, age spots, and an increased risk of skin cancer, including melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer, and the second most common cancer in women 15 to 29. Stop tanning. Time may not be on your side. Learn how to protect your skin at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Whenever you cough or sneeze, cover your mouth. Do so, please.
And we're back with Katie Koga. She is representing the National Coalition Building Institute for Missoula, and today her capacity is committee coordinator for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Welcome, Katie. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So what's going on with MLK Jr. Day this year?
So this year, actually a week from today, on Monday the 18th, our annual celebration will be taking place. And we have a fairly standard format for the celebration with different performers and speakers every year. And so, as usual, we have a rally at Caris Park that begins at 5 p.m. And that's kind of evolved into a sort of youth rally that's for, by, and about the young people and young leaders in our community. So that will happen, and then following that there's a March for Justice to St. Paul Lutheran Church, and then there's a program that begins at 6 p.m. there, in which we'll have some great presenters and performers, including our keynote speaker, Denise Juneau.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting. And then following the program, we do a community dinner and social in the lower level of the church, in which a free meal suggested donation is provided, and it just offers a great opportunity for community members to connect and socialize on such an important day.
Yeah. And I have to say, I think NCBI in this community has been the key mover to keeping us all aware of the fact that Martin Luther King Day is not just a Monday off. It's not a shopping opportunity.
Right.
It's not. It's not. Hit the ski trails. This is a day to give back and be together in community. Can you talk a little bit about the connection between your organization and this very special day?
Sure. And so NCBI, I don't know the exact year that we started kind of taking on some more of the facilitation of the event, but the actual event started, I think, about 25 years ago, and it was, and it came out of some community members who wanted to see something happen, and so we're really fortunate that some of those community members are still helping with our committee work, and it just seems to be an event that kind of naturally falls under the umbrella of work that we do and the things that we're passionate about, such as bringing together community and having important dialogue. A big thing about MLK Day, nationally, is that a big part of Dr. Martin Luther King was that he really valued service and helping, and so oftentimes there's a lot of community projects and service events that are coordinated for MLK Day, and that's actually something new this year that we're doing. There's a group of AmeriCorps Vista members who are working together, and they're all being coordinated together by Kelsey Severson, who's a Vista serving at Big Sky High School, and they're actually organizing a supply drive to gather items for youth experiencing homelessness. And so those items will be available at the Fresh Market stores in Missoula. I think there's just 2 locations. And so shoppers will have the option to basically purchase a bag of goods that have already been put together.
Oh, great.
Yep, on MLK Day. And actually starting this weekend too.
So beforehand.
Right. So that's something we're really happy to do this year, to be able to add on a service component our committee is small but mighty, and so we historically haven't necessarily had the capacity to take on a huge project, and so we're really happy that that's something that we could offer this year for community members to get involved in some more.
Now, are you looking for volunteers, if not for this event, but ongoing with the organization? Are there volunteer opportunities?
There are some. This year, I think for the most part, we have actually we have enough volunteer help. You know, a lot of the work is really put into the planning.
Sure.
But the day of, we also do generally need people to help set up and clean up, and so I think this year we're set, but we are certainly interested in taking on people who are interested in potentially joining the planning committee for the 2017 celebration. And folks can also just email us if they want to be added to a contact list for people interested in volunteering next year. And so before next year, we'll reach out to those people and let them know what the opportunities are. Yeah.
It's wonderful that the volunteer effort is secured for this year. That's really great.
It is, yes.
Because it's a lot of work, you know, to outline it for folks at home. There is the rally, then there's the march, and then off to St. Paul's on Brooks, and then there's the social afterwards.
Right.
So it's quite a bit of coordination.
It is, and it's a great event. It seems like every year that there's more and more people. For the past several years, we've had, you know, at least 400 people attend the celebration at the church. People are standing in the back or sitting on the floor, and we've run out of seating. And so, to me, that just really says something about the fact that people in this community want something to be a part of on that day because they show up.
Yeah. And I always love seeing the great age range.
Oh, yeah.
That, you know, there's little kids and grandparents. And I was interested to hear you say that the rally at Karis Park has become very youth-driven. And I think that's so terrific. How did that come about, do you think?
You know, that's a great question. I think it was just sort of a natural evolution. Several years ago, a lot of the speakers that were, or people that were interested in being speakers, and they felt they had something, you know, that they needed a platform to talk about. A lot of those were young people, and NCBI has a very strong youth leadership component of the work that we do, and so it was a lot of those young people, and so it just seems like it was a natural thing, a natural next step. For it to just be a space for young people in the community to talk about what they think are issues that they're experiencing and that they want to see change. And so it's great, yeah.
Well, Scott has been showing the website.
Yes, I
off
noticed
and on.
that.
And is that a good place to go for people when if they want to know, like, what's happening at what time, when? And
Yep, there's a little bit of information on our website. If you go to the home page, there's actually a link that takes you to an event info page, but we also have a Facebook event,
page.
yes, which has a little bit more detail, and so folks can visit either the website or the Facebook page.
That's
terrific.
great.
Yeah. ncbimissoula.org.
Yes.
All right. Well, we are moving along.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to add that we did not cover about this event? The event is free. Suggested donation for the social, the food and such in the basement of St. Paul's Lutheran Church. You don't have to go to all of it, right? Someone say, I'm for the rally, I'm for the march. I want to see Denise Juneau in St. Paul's Lutheran Church.
In which case, get there early.
Yes. I do suggest staying for the dinner after the celebration. It's catered by one of our committee members, Mary Pierce, who is a phenomenal cook.
Oh, good
and
to
this
know.
is a amazing, one of the best meals that I look forward to every year. I'm not exaggerating. And so I think for, you know, a suggested donation of $5 a person, it is an incredible deal to have. But
that's insider information.
Yes, that's great. I never would have thought of it as a gourmand opportunity.
It is,
so I'm thrilled
it is
now.
a legitimate meal. But aside from that, we'd love for people to come attend any part of the celebration. It's a great day.
Well, thank you for doing this great work.
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you're most welcome. So we're going to come back and harangue you about MCAT things and humanities Montana things.
Just a little
and
bit.
I don't know what Scott's going to show you. I'm not even going to suggest what
But something
just
short.
be surprised. We'll be right back.
Do you know where I can find some intelligent life?
You can look in the mirror, but you won't find it there.
Sergeant Greg Amison with the Missoula Police Department. I'd like to talk a little bit about something I see downtown routinely, and that is pedestrians crossing against the pedestrian heads. So I'd just like to explain what is actually legal. You cannot begin crossing in the crosswalk when it's either flashing and in the countdown or solid red. The only time it's legal to begin crossing in that crosswalk is when the white crossing sign is displayed. What the countdown is for, and the only thing that that's there for, is to tell you how much time you have to finish crossing the street, presuming that you started when it was legal to do so.
I'm Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
I am Montana Hope.
For the last 30 years, the Montana Hope Project has been granting wishes to Montana children who face life-threatening illnesses.
I'm Montana Hope.
To make a donation and help their wishes come true, please visit montanahope.org.
We are Montana Hope.
Okay, we're back with a little, what do you call it? It's at the end.
I know.
Coda. No, they have to go back.
Coda. That's exactly it. It's a coda.
So there are things that both Kim and I would like to talk about MCAT and Humanities Montana.
Right.
I will tell you my MCAT things, and then Kim will also talk about Humanities Montana activities. This is what I would like you to be aware of. MCAT has a training and a tour of the facility. And we will show you everything we have to offer, cameras to check out, and how you can use MCAT cooperatively and edit equipment and whatnot. This occurs on the second Wednesday of every month at 5:30. So in January, it's going to be on the 13th. That's just 2 days from now. But if you've missed it and the show is still on, know that you could come the second week in February. Yeah. So it's only an hour long, and if you have more questions, you can stay and ask more questions or try things out. The other thing I wanted you, Scott, to follow along with, back on the MCAT website, is this. MCAT has engaged a firm that is asking people in town, what do they think of MCAT, and how could MCAT improve its service? One of the things they're noticing, a lot of people are saying that they didn't know they could watch MCAT online. So, Scott, if you'll show MCAT.org and go to channel 189 and click on it, and we'll see how long it takes to load, you'll see that there are videos on demand on our website. So almost everything, that's odd, almost everything that shows on the channel, not imported programming, but local programming, is also available online. And Scott, if you go back to MCAT.org and click on channel 189, we will show the people at home that they could click watch now.
Right. Because I do this actually at home on my iPad. It's so convenient.
So there's watch now. Are we on 189? No, goodness, we're on 190. That's good, because then you just see us.
It would be like mirrors and mirrors.
Yeah, but that'd be kind of cool because we'd be in there.
I know.
So, see, right now, there's just a community message board on channel 189. But that's all right.
But on 190, there's a fabulous show.
There's a wonderful talk show on 190, which is this one.
Right now.
But the point of this harangue is to let people know, and you're watching this on cable maybe, so please tell your friends who say, oh, MCAT sounds okay, but I don't have cable, that they can see our programming from MCAT.org.
And the other part of that, too, is that if you hear from a friend that they saw something on MCAT, there's like some community program or something, or our show or whatever, there's a really good chance that you can watch it after it's already run.
That's
you don't
very true.
just have to watch live. And can you explain what that
I will.
process?
Yeah, thanks, Kim, because that can get a little, and maybe we can fix this somewhere down the road. Right now, there's a small challenge, depending on what channel it showed on.
Oh, right.
So if you, for instance, said, oh, did you know the MCAT has the University of Montana distinguished alumni or presidents, whatever it may be, you'd have to know which channel is on. You have to take your look at either channel, because right now this video on demand is organized around channel. So channel 190 is more typically a government meeting, our show, and something that may have to do with the town of Missoula in general. Channel 189 has all the public programming, meaning
So if it's an outside organization that's not city government, chances are check 189 first.
And there's a search feature. You could put in the title like President's Lecture Series, The Man Who Quit Money, or whatever it may be. They're showing a lot of the Missoula County Public Schools.
Oh, all the concerts.
Yeah, all their holiday concerts. Scott highlighted that in his morning show today. Or here's the President's Lecture Series.
See? And then you can watch at your leisure.
Exactly. It really helps to know the title, apparently.
Yeah, probably
That's right. And there is, of course, our YouTube channel. There's 1,800 videos on there, and that you could search by some keyword.
Right.
And you'd have to go to YouTube and then put in MCAT TV, because there's so much for the medical college. But here's MCAT TV with his 1,800 plus.
So you'll never
videos.
you'll never run out of things to watch.
Probably not. You would not. And there are also some playlists, like the Missoula art scene is there. Popular uploads, which includes our ever-loving animation, which brings me to my last item at 5 minutes before the hour. And that is to plug our Saturday animation. It's for kids 9 to 13. It's a drop-in type of thing. You don't have to pre-register. And the cost is $10. So the kids are typically learning the stop animation. Scott can show you a dinosaur one that was made just this weekend. I think he had that one ready to show. It's only 30 seconds.
Oh.
And it was made right in the studio with this beautiful meadow background.
Yeah.
And you see you move it and take a picture, you move it and take a picture. So the kids are really very patient in this. And that one has some cute sculptural props.
Wow, yeah, I'm impressed with the Play-Doh.
Yeah, and that's using Play-Doh.
Oh, there's the blood.
Oh, very good. The children love the blood. Oh, it's like they're not feeding it. Oh, they took a bow. I mean, the person did.
Yeah, that's so cool.
End, or is it using Star Wars letters?
Right.
So parents and friends of kids, if that intrigues you, and you don't know where MCAT is, give us a call, 542-6228. We're at 500 North Higgins, in northeast corner of Spruce and Higgins. And feel free to check out the program. So that's all I've got.
Well, I'm going to keep this very brief, but I'll have updates going throughout the year. 2016 is the 100th anniversary of the Pulitzer Prizes.
Yes, that's amazing.
And there's our website where it says we are celebrating Pulitzer poetry. Yes, we are. We received a lovely award from the Pulitzer organization, which is housed at Columbia University, to do programming all year long. And this is going on in states. We're not the only organization in the country. It's going on all over the country, but we are the location in Montana, and what we said we wanted to do was celebrate poetry. Because, you know, there's journalism, there's drama, there's a lot of Pulitzer fields that they celebrate. We're focusing on poetry. There's going to be a ton of amazing events going on all throughout the state. But Gregory Pardlow, who is the 2015 Pulitzer Prize winning poet, say that 5 times really fast, will be in Missoula.
Oh, that's great.
In September in conjunction with the book festival, and we will be doing things in classrooms, at the university, in community venues, in coffee houses, all around the city, all year long. So go to humanitiesmontana.org. weeks, beginning in February, to get a big long list of what we're doing.
Oh, that's wonderful.
With poetry, with Pulitzer poetry.
Oh, I'm glad you guys chose poetry.
I am too, because
we
I
had
think
quite the time last year, didn't we, with the Christmas poetry?
we get all, it's very easy to get very drawn in, and it's very important with the journalism aspect of the Pulitzer Prizes.
Oh.
But we're doing poetry. Oh, and I think we're out of time.
I guess you just like doing this speed up rap. And,
we're done. We're done.
Well,
You'll
that's
hear more
shocking.
about Pulitzer from me throughout the
Excellent.
years.
Well, thank you, Kim.
Thanks, John.
And thank you, Missoula audience, for watching this edition of Missoula Live. Remember what it is. And as always, if you know of a group, you want to see them on this show, just give us a call or
please.
Present yourself.
We'd
The
love
show
to
is
talk to you.
every other Monday at 4, so you have to call us to figure out which one. But in any event, for MCAT, I'm Joel Baird.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
Thanks for watching.